Welcome to 99 Ain't Good Enough, where we keep it 100.
All the time.
And it's well overdue.
Well overdue.
Well overdue.
Yes, sir.
Debonair, you got a rant before we introduce?
Not a rant. Can I get a little Tampa zone? Mr. Basketball Award finalist 1994, all-county selection. One of the few people who are on the 1,000-point list, along with their father.
Oh, that's a nice one.
The first, actually.
The first, actually.
Nice. Because I got a little, I'm on there with my daughter.
Yeah.
So
That's big.
yeah.
Big.
That's big time.
Yeah,
That's big.
SEC signee, USF starting point guard for 3 years, dynamite person, our guy, Anddrikk Frazier.
Oh, hell of a businessman.
Hell of a businessman.
We didn't get to that. We didn't get to after.
I skipped over a lot of the high school
That's where I'm
accolades.
going. I don't care about the hoop no more. He don't need hoop.
Right.
I'm going to the business.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to the business. Hey, man, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, man,
Yes,
thank
sir.
y'all. Thank y'all for having me
Good to
on,
have you,
man.
man.
Thank y'all for having me on.
You so busy, man. It took a while to fit us in the schedule.
Yeah, I know. Got to get a hold of some people, and Friday's a little shaky every
So
now
what
and
happened
then.
is Dak people had to get a hold of your people.
My people.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's how
My
we do
people's
it.
people, actually.
That's how
Because
we
we
do
always
it.
keep at least a couple of people of separation,
There
just
you
in
go.
case.
True story.
Just in case.
But I definitely wanted to make time to do it. It's just, this last year has been crazy.
Yeah.
School schedule with the kids, work. So in the summertime, glad we're able to finally get this done, and just happy to be here with
No
you.
doubt,
fellas.
man.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt. No
Yes,
doubt.
sir.
Well. I mean, we definitely glad you're on the show, man, and we welcome you with open arms, man. And there's all love here. I want to start off by posing this particular question. We got a wide array of audience from young guys to older ones. Talk about the transition after basketball and touch on kind of what you're doing now in the Tampa Bay area. I'll say this is probably the most connected person I know in the city. Very well connected and all.
That's debatable.
It's debatable,
'Cause
but
I'm up here.
you know what I mean. Yeah, Mr. Hyde.
That's very debatable.
Mr. Hyde Park.
Yeah, Mr. Hyde Park too over there.
High Park. No D-E, just High Park. H-Y.
Mr. Hyde Park. But the transition after sports, being highly decorated as an amateur athlete, playing high-level basketball and doing what you do. Talk about the transition, after sports.
Before he get into that transition, I got to cut him off. I got to cut him off because I'm going to tell you something.
AP, I need my down.
When he was a young man,
Hold up. Before we get into this, people need to understand some stuff who may not know this in this space, right? So,
Right. So it's a lot of connections.
Jones'
Go back.
mom and my mom's side of the family from the same small town in Georgia, Donaldsonville, Georgia.
I didn't know that.
And his
Donaldsonville.
mom used to babysit my mom
yeah, man.
when she was growing up. So
Yep.
there were certain prejudice, I may say,
Yeah.
that were given toward me because my mom was a hell raiser. So before he starts to say anything, that I wanted to put an asterisk and a caveat before we get too far
No.
down this line.
Mom
Wasn't
was
no
a hell
need.
raiser.
I know this. I've been knowing the young man a long time, and where he at right now and where he going, it's not a surprise to me. I've always seen it. He was a hell of a player, work hard at his game, but I always knew he had other plans other than that. He was going to exhaust that and move on to be as successful as he is. So none of this he about to talk about is not a surprise to me. I saw that coming. So
Got to change some of my notes then.
Get it in.
go ahead.
The transition for any athlete, I think, is difficult. Let me rephrase that. Anybody who is in a performance type endeavor, whether you're in arts, as a writer, if you sing, if you perform, and then if you're an athlete, transitioning out of that space into what people call "quote unquote" normal society is difficult, right? For me, I was fortunate enough to have a father whose uncle was undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and Joe Frazier, and watching him go through that ascent and then having to transition into regular life. My father was a hell of a basketball player.
Yeah, he was.
Had an opportunity to play in the NBA, made the last cut with the Knicks, and he struggled with the transition, into regular life. So it was kind of always preached to me that this is temporary. Like this round ball, 94 feet inside these lines is temporary. Now, you define what temporary is. You know, temporary could be high school, temporary could be college, temporary can be pros, but nobody plays forever. So that was always in the back of my mind. And I was just fortunate enough, man, to have some really good people around me, including y'all dudes, to be honest, you know, just to keep me grounded and level. The University of South Florida, you know, at the time, John Bramil was president of Tampa Electric Company. I graduate of USF. He was a booster, came to a lot of games. And we developed a relationship while I was still playing.
Right.
And he gave me my first real job in between my junior and senior year of playing. I say real, you know, I lifeguard and did a few other things, but like a structural 8 to 5, this could be a career for you long term. And shit, it paid good money. I was making $25 an hour, you know, in the summertime.
Sweet.
You know, in air conditioned space, you know, working in my field of discipline, you know, as an engineer. So when the ball stopped bouncing and I tore my ACL for the first time and kind of that whole reality set in, you're not going to be able to go overseas and play. So you got to figure something out. That gave me a job opportunity, and kind of the rest from there is history.
That's it.
I think more young men and more people need to hear, you know, the difficulty of that transition. You know, being somebody that also played ball, a lot of times they don't get a chance to hear, you know, much of that. They only see the finished product. You know, kind of where you at now. You know, not identifying certain things, man. But you know, mentorship, you know, is big. You know, having great people around you, you know, what I mean, is key. You know, those quality people being around you is key. So definitely I was very intrigued wanted to be able to know that and get people to, you know, kind of hear that transition in regards to your success of where you're at present day.
And there were a lot of people at the time, of course, being in athletics, that want to be attached to what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes they're attached for the wrong reasons. You know, again, being at Tampa Prep, I was fortunate enough, you know, to have people like Rodney Picaro, you know, Mike Charles. These are some, you know, pretty Larry Beavis, you know, bona fide business owners, and being able to pick their brain on actually what they do to earn a living, to be able to fund some of the stuff we did as kids. Right. And they exposed me to that. Yeah. You know, so it kind of showed what was behind the curtain, because you made a very good point. You know, most people were enamored with Kobe scoring 81, but they have no idea my man was waking up every morning at 4:30, you know, to put the grind and the work in and what goes on behind that curtain. So once you get a chance to peek behind it and you're intrigued, if you're a true competitor, that's what you want to do and that's what you want to be. So, you know, the groundwork was laid for me early, and I just took advantage of it.
Nice. It was easy. That's why I said, man, it was easy to see when you were younger, because I think I mentioned me and Dak was talking. It's you and then Jamal Wilson. Mm-hmm. Y'all cats was always thinking next level, thinking after this is over, I'm gonna get everything out of this, but where I'm going after this, you know what I mean? And I saw it in y'all when y'all were younger, so ain't none of that a surprise, not to me, you know. It was a good thing to see, man. You know, and everybody had their own thoughts and ideas, but you cats, y'all were definitely right where I saw y'all being. You know what I mean? And and both of y'all rode that basketball thing and got the most out of it. So it was a beautiful thing to watch, man, to watch y'all grow, you know, as young men, set your stakes up there and say, okay, I'm gonna do this ball and I'm gonna do it well, you know. And that's what I always loved about you. You were competitive in that field. And then in any field you got in, it don't make no difference. It made no difference.
In the words of a great philosopher, make that money, don't let it make you. It's the same thing with the basketball. So
make the money, don't let it make you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I remember saying that.
Who said it?
Hey, man, they're all hey,
Players Club.
Listen, bro. Sometimes you got to speak to people where they at. You heard what I said. I ended that sentence with a preposition on purpose. Sometimes you have to speak to people where they at.
Yeah. And you're only going to reach the depths of who a person is. That's it.
Yes,
that's real.
That's
it.
Hey, y'all dudes, man, when you came along, you, Carl, Dak, and all y'all dudes, man, to me, y'all was a different set of cats. Because I was like, when I left y'all and went to the women, to coach women, I was like, I ain't coaching dudes no more. Because I ain't finna get another group like this right here that's focused in.
It's a tough one to follow.
That's going to listen.
That's a tough
that's going to do this, but yet they got aspirations to go on, so I ain't got to sit here, even though I did get preachy sometime to y'all. But I ain't got – don't laugh, man.
We got some stories if we got time.
We got some stories.
For sure.
I need to leave my seat? I don't know.
No,
brother.
No, it's definitely going to be some stories. This might go about an hour today. So I definitely got to touch on, his realness for me. You know, I'll tell that story a little bit midway through it, but you know, I'll definitely tell that. You got something?
No, man, I'm just listening. Just listening.
Hey, yo, you was in the middle of most of them stories too. You know.
Hey, since we here, like this guy, to tell you about the first time I met this guy. So,
you got to go back to the setup of God Bless the Dead, how Wood and Chuck Beavis would be like, oh, Anddrikk said this, and Drake played for Burns.
Right.
I played for
Okay.
Will. Yeah,
We're
so
going back to
Wood
like that.
really started it.
Gotcha.
So
Actually, my cousin Drake started it from the village.
we got all kinds of stories.
Yeah,
to
that's
tell.
how. Yeah.
All right, so these 3 people he mentioned, right? We'll start with Dre, because I did want to touch on this a little bit. And my dad, at a very young age, always put me in situations where I was the underdog, hands down. Like always did that.
Right.
And you know what? Like I didn't realize it at the time. I just like now.
Right.
So one of my first experiences in playing organized basketball, I'm like 6 years old, playing with 12 and 13-year-olds at Progress Village Park, and I'm playing with his cousin Drake. Right? And so I'm 6 years old, you know, I am small, I can play a little bit, and like people took offense to that. And the first time I ever got fouled real hard and wanted to quit the game, I caught a breakaway and Drake straight cleaned my clock.
Oh, yeah.
And we outside. We ain't inside, we outside.
Raised by the concrete.
Hold on, we outside where it's not cute and fashionable to fall
on the ground.
like it is now.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
So when you went to the ground, it was real.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't
was-
trying to get on the ground.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that hurt. I still feel that.
I should tell today.
And I can remember get up and looking at my dad. He was like, you better not cry. And finish playing the game. So that was my Dre story, right? So fast forward, I am playing small fry with Chuck Beavis, and Wood was too tall. So we're playing, it's my first time playing small fry. I got to be under 5'1". I'm like 11 years old. Yeah. I'm dunking on the 8.5-foot rim, whatever we're playing on or whatever. I end up being too tall. So I can't play when we go to national for small fry. Yeah. Literally, it's craziest thing ever. Yeah, right.
Was it 5'1" or 5'3"?
5, whatever.
No,
5'1" and a
5'3",
quarter.
5'3".
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'm too tall.
Yeah.
Right. So I missed it by like a quarter of an inch. So I ended up having to end up playing up 12 or whatever, and I get to play with Wood. We go play AAU. So I go to Burns, and we got Wilson on the schedule. So my aunt was a lunchroom lady at Wilson. So she going to be at the game, and we're chatting, and she's like, well, Wilson say they're going to beat y'all. Right, yeah, whatever. And so I didn't realize that Chuck and Wood had been feeding stuff into his ear.
Oh, Drake said this.
Oh,
yeah.
So you
That's
salivating
it,
when you
this.
see it.
Yeah, he was salivating.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
What
up?
Okay.
Where you at?
All right, I'll let him tell. What's your version of the story?
We went in. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. What was the outcome?
They want to
That's
talk
what's
about
most
it.
important. What was the
parallel.
outcome?
A Honda.
There's so many more parallels. So his coach at Burns ended up being my high school coach.
You see how he just skipped over that
Yeah,
part?
like,
Fast forward.
So what happened in the game?
What happened?
That's what I didn't know.
Do we got to go
You
back
know I don't have a very good memory.
I didn't know what happened in the game.
You got an address
Listen,
for everywhere you
didn't
go.
even know
ain't
they
you?
had L's in Tampa, did you? Because he took one that night. They took the L.
We took one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
You
we.
took an L?
Him, Rodney Mills,
Rodney Mills.
Dan Wood. Trying to think what's on that team.
They told me he was undefeated at L.
You cap it now. Now you cap it.
You told me he was undefeated.
So fast forward a little bit more. I'm lifeguarding. This had to be my sophomore year, I think. Sophomore, junior year. I'm lifeguarding at Riverfront.
Can we curse on hell?
We cursed already a million times. You kidding me?
I used to be like, man, fuck Drake. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Like,
I'm just joking.
Yeah, you cursed a million times. You
But I think what's getting underplayed here is the Don King type of relationship that God Bless the Dead Wood and Chuck Beavis played.
Right.
Because it'll be like, oh, Drake said he coming to the athletic club this weekend on Harb Island. Oh, I'm there at 8:30 on Saturday. I get up there, Wood, what Drake at? Oh, I ain't really talked to him. We just want you to come hoop. Man, y'all be playing games, man.
I didn't even know what athletic club. I didn't know what the club was.
Drake
back
ain't
then.
knew nothing about the athletic club.
Nah.
They just, you know what I'm saying? But it was just all in competition.
So we lifeguard in Riverfront and used to play, of course, up there in the summertime and evenings. And being from Claremont and not from the West, I might not get picked up the first game or two.
I vouch for him immediately.
So
That's my
But you ain't from the West, though.
I'm really not from the West.
Exit 42.
Jesus.
That's y'all's exit.
Yeah.
At any rate, it only took a couple of games to get the cred
He mighty
on
quiet
that
today.
side.
No exits, no nothing.
He kind of quiet today. He ain't got
man.
no questions. Like, oh, what was that? What's up with you?
I'm really
I promise I ain't gonna say that I ain't supposed to say
y'all
today.
got me drinking, which I don't do anymore. So I'm trying to be super judicious.
No.
Judicious. I like that
No,
SAT. I
no,
like
no,
that. I like that.
You ain't even drunk now.
I don't want to, I think I'm drunk. I don't want to slip out. But Drake had the. I'm gonna tell you what struck me about Drake. We had similar upbringings, and parents from the deep south. My grandma from Bainbridge, Georgia. Drake was like so responsible that his parents would like let him drive at 15 by himself.
True story.
Like,
True story.
and I was on the opposite end of that spectrum. Like,
Y'all was pretty different.
Well, I mean,
Y'all
you-
was pretty
different but the
different.
same.
Let me get this
I
straight.
used to wonder how y'all ran together. Y'all was pretty different.
No,
It was a
much-
1983 Toyota Corolla hatchback, 5-speed stick shift. Yes.
Thing was cold.
So let's get it. Let's get it. It wasn't nothing luxurious.
But I mean, y'all were opposite, but
No, we
But you
not
gotta
as
think
we're not as opposite as
you
you
gotta-
people
as
at
it
home would like to
appears.
believe.
As it
but
appears.
you got to think who raised you too, though. That's why you was
my
outside of grandma and granddad ain't having that.
Well, my grandma knew I was kind of an idiot too.
Exactly.
She give me $300 and say don't do anything stupid with this money, and then she pulls it back. She's like, "No." I was like, "No, just give me $300." Not even an hour later, I'm in a tattoo chair.
That's pretty.
That's what she was talking about.
That's pretty damn dumb.
Yeah, so she kind of knew who I was. I was her guy, but she knew who I was. But
Yeah,
me
but
and Drake-
you undercover. You got your ways. You undercover and understanding and intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
You just choose.
I just got to get it out.
y-
Drake know how to just take it in, file it for later.
Y'all more alike than it seems.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. I don't watch both of y'all. I don't watch both of y'all.
I know
don't
both
watch
of
both
Oh yeah, trust me.
Oh no.
Jones know.
I know.
Okay.
I don't watch.
But look,
Hey,
let's
looking like he bit an onion. Look at his face.
let's get back on track, man.
Yes,
Let's get
sir.
back on track, man.
Oh,
Let's-
so Riverfront, Drake pull up, they hooping because he lifeguarding at the pool. And then after that, we was like freaking frack.
Yeah.
Me, him, and Derek Michael Smith. We was like
Matter of fact, he brought you over to do the AAU, right?
yeah.
We're feeling all them because you was really like the only outsider, so to speak,
At that time,
at
yeah.
that time. So I was like, who this dude y'all bringing in here?
Wood was my biggest hype man.
Yeah.
Like Wood, we'll be somewhere. Wood would be like, "Oh yeah, Dak's way better than him." I'd be like, "Relax, Wood," because I saw him play before. Like,
So I
I'm
want
super confident, Wood,
Yeah.
but you gotta relax.
Yeah, hold that down.
I want
Rest
to
in peace, Daniel Wood.
I want to touch on Drake, man. I mean, being an entrepreneur, a husband, a father. Give me the layout of the balance. How does the balance look for you, President? We've had that conversation, obviously, off the air years ago.
Yes.
How to be able to manage it, things we, just being, and I know how you wire. We have similarities in that wiring. But now you seem to have a pretty, solid balance. You
think?
know what I mean? I think so. I think so.
Perception is not reality.
I think so. I think so. But talk a little bit about it. I'll piggyback you. Being a
Well, I'm gonna start like this. This shit is always a work in progress. Like there is no perfect dad, no perfect family, no perfect husband. And it took me honestly, literally the last year or two to really understand like the amount of work that you have to put into this.
And you still understand
Yeah,
it.
you have to. You got to put the work in, like every day. So I'm still working on that balance. I wish I could say it's perfect. It's not. The last year has really forced me to have to focus on being intentional about those relationships at home,
Right.
with my wife and my kids,
Yes, sir.
and my siblings and family,
Right.
extended family too,
Right,
right?
right.
I mean, when you're stuck in a house, for 5-6 months, with some people, you better learn to love them pretty quickly if it's gonna work out, and how to love them. So, the last year has been really life changing for me. But I really tried to place some more focus on family first, man. So I get up honestly at 5 in the morning, and I do that because I got a little piece between
5 and 7.
that time and the time the kids start to get up,
Yeah.
right? And 5 to 7 is Anddrick's time.
Yeah.
So whether that's me reading, catching up on news, You know, catching up on text messages, emails, like that's my time. Man, I mean, it's honestly like literally, and people will tell you like you might get a text from me at 5:15, 5:45 in the morning. Like I'm up and it's on my mind and I'm gonna do it.
The Minister Society story just popped into my head when we was in Tallahassee. I don't know why that popped into my head.
Say it out for later. Once the kids hit the floor, man, then it's all about them. You know what I'm saying? And the wife and I try to make sure we get them together, get the school stuff, buy my bum, get them out the door. 9 to 10 is my competitive time. Like I can't play anymore as much as I would love to. My mind says I can. My body's telling me no,
right?
Absolutely no. So 9 to 10 is usually where I get my workouts in.
Right.
And then after that, it's grinding. It's work grinding.
Right.
It's whether it's stuff I'm working on with the business, stuff me and Rena have going on together, civic activities, all that stuff takes place from like 10 o'clock until 4:35. You know, then it's back in the kid mode. We get them in bed, and then Rena and I try to have our time, you know, at nights. We've been more intentional lately about setting aside time for us monthly to go do small things.
Right.
So
You better.
in February, man, we took a trip to Nashville. Literally, it's like a 36-hour trip, bro. And you know Rena, right? You know, so now she's drinking bourbon and whiskey.
Oh boy!
Like that is her thing now. So we can actually share. In
Shout out to Rena. What's happening?
Yeah, we share these
now.
endeavors. You know, and so we just try to find time to do some things for ourselves, man. And this is one thing I picked up from this guy early on, because when you get into this whole race with your kids and work and trying to make sure they're taken care of and you're doing what you got to do professionally, like you can get detached from your spouse, bro. And then like at some point you got to realize like these distractions, work, you're going to retire, kids going to leave the house, like they going to be gone.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to be stuck in a house with somebody you
ain't
don't
even
know.
connected to.
Jones calls that white noise.
That's white noise. When that white noise go, you know, I share this with him. The theory is everybody say, oh, empty nest, the kid's gone. No, I call it white noise. Because them kids, white noise, you doing this for them, y'all running AAU, this, that. That's white noise. Yeah. When that white noise clear, it's crickets. Now you looking over there like, I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. Yeah. Because you've been so distracted by all the white noise.
And I think distraction is a good word, man, and something I've always do. I use off peak and on peak times because when you have a multitude of things going on, and you still have a family and a layout of things that you have to be able to do. I always like to say I work very well in off peak hours, like very well. You know what I mean? When people sleep, that's when I try to manage it. When those need that time, and it's a multitude of people. And then when you structure your life in regards to whatever your beliefs are, your family, and then your business. You know what I mean? And I, borrowed that, probably, I'll say about 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And really understanding that piece of it. And it's always a work in progress because you're two individuals on individual paths. You know what I mean? Trying to do something together.
That's real.
And one could be wired one way and another, but when you want people to empathize and understand and identify, which if you're not communicating those things, if you're not doing things together, it's hard to do that.
It's hard.
So you have to always be able to check in. You know what I mean? Whether that's weekly, monthly, whatever you need to be able to do, in that regard. So I think a lot more people can copycat that system. You know what I mean? Make sure you work on you. Make sure you take that time for you, because if you don't, you can't be highly functional. You know what I mean? Highly lovable for nobody else. You know what I mean?
How you gonna love somebody when you don't love yourself?
Yeah. Boom. It's definitely gonna be tough, man. So we definitely appreciate that, man. Talk about your business, man.
Oh man,
about business, man.
Business, man.
Yeah, like
tired of working, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
my Ti.
It's time to make a few more wise investments and lay down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't wait to lay down. But Lovi, I need 1,000 sales, and boys over.
Look in the camera and tell them what we need from Lovi.
100,000 sales for the Lovi infusion, and it's over. Coach, you ain't training no more, man. Look here, man. I'm in Dubai, man.
Chilling.
Where you at? Straight.
This work thing, man, is kind of nutty right now. Energy's always evolving, right? Mm-hmm. So, being with Tico and some of the situations they were put in as a utility, like you watch how they serve people, and then you also hear like the chatter from the outside, right? So. People want to be able to turn on their lights, turn on their AC, and don't have to worry about it. But at the same time, they want green energy, they want carbon reduction. Gotcha. All these, but people don't understand those come with costs. Yeah. So what we do with my lineup is we try to marry all those together. We try to people's expectations, we try to help them meet their wallet where they are, you know, from a commercial standpoint. And that's with transportation as well as with, you know, just, you know, facility energy. Been at this now solo since 2015. Got a nice team around me. And it's not easy, to be frank. I mean, you know, people notice the big dogs in the room when you talk about energy. So they know Tico, they know Duke, they know Siemens, they know Westinghouse. So when you're trying to blaze a path, you got to do it one of two ways, you know, either by relationships, you know, or by merger and acquisition. And my pocket ain't big enough for merger and acquisition yet. So it's all based on relationships. So I just been really fortunate, man, to be able to leverage like those relationships from basketball, from college, from Tampa Prep, from different civic organizations I've been a part of to get, you know, entryways. We started serving the Chichios group about 4 months ago because of Tyler Azzarelli. You know, so you talk about basketball and Tyler's, and Tyler's good friends with Alio, and like all this stuff kind of starts to come together.
I'm going to stop him just for a second, man, because I try to tell all these young men, use the game. Use the game, and I ain't talking about just what you're going to get out of
resources.
Use your resource you get because we come in contact with a lot of people.
Right.
And I don't care what nobody says. If you look at it, athletes are some of the most successful people in the world.
Yeah.
Check out all these people who run these companies, and a lot of them at one time were athletes. Now, you might not see it now,
Right.
but at one time they were athletes because we have learned to drive, you know what I'm saying, and push and reach for goals. And that stuff right there, that translates into the world. So he's a smart dude, man, using those ties. And I'm sure they've come about and helped him more than he imagined.
It's a pretty big pickup for you, man.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Man, it's been, that was a huge pickup. I mean,
Yeah.
and of course, it's one of those things where Tyler's a person, you know, and his family, I've always had a lot of respect for. So
Right.
you want to do business with people, you know, that are good people on
people.
top of that. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
we're talking about some things I can't really discuss right now on
Yeah.
air that,
No.
you know, will be different and cutting edge in the industry. And like, we're going to partner on that. And
Yeah.
stuff like that is cool. We've been working with Jamal, you know, in his outfit now for the last 3 years. Yeah. And so we're now to the point with them where we're integrated when they're in, you know, concept phase and thinking about what they want to do as opposed to getting with them after they've already done something. And that's
Right.
where we add the most value. But you know, I'm starting to look at different business ventures and things to get into. You know, Rena's been in this real estate thing now really since she started practicing law, and now she's gotten away from that, focusing completely on real estate. And so we got some things we're working on that standpoint. And it's no secret to my friends that are close to me, I do like a nice beverage every now and then.
And adult beverage.
Adult beverage. And I've been honestly like starting to contemplate, you know, from a hospitality standpoint, what things I can get involved with, whether that's craft beers, you know, whether that's some type of restaurant concepts.
Drake don't know about the little vape brand?
He don't yet. He don't.
Who? What?
What?
Who? Huh?
I have a crafted cocktail coming out pretty soon.
What?
Yeah, it's called Low Van Fusions. We're
Low
talking.
Van? Is it alcoholic?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only way he gonna be involved.
I just asked the question. No, I just want to, I'm trying to, okay. All
Yes,
right,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Love to hear a little more about that.
Yes, yes.
Oh, fair.
It's a crafted cocktail.
Yeah.
Well, see, man, I'm gonna tell you something. The old head sitting in here, this is a beautiful thing, man. I watch y'all. I done seen y'all come up. I done watch y'all who. I'm privileged to have been a part of this dude's life. I'm now a part of his life, and I'm privileged, man, because this is what you hear me come up here and rant and complain about why brothers ain't getting together and working together
Yeah.
and elevating each other. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a proud moment, man, to sit here with y'all and see this, man. And I'm like, go ahead.
But that's
man.
the one thing, Coach. I think I'm a transition. When you look at this guy here to my left, I think he's done an innate, instinctive job of manifesting the relationship to bring more of us together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
we come from all, like, he's done it with me. You know,
Yes.
it's just always been that connection that I've seen as I step away from it now and looking at it. You know, being able to foster those relationships and build. And if there's any opportunity to do things, it's always been with somebody that he's been able to tap in on or believe in or see something better than they see themselves. And he's always, you know, done that, man. So I want to give you some respect and praise for that, Drake. Just being around you for the time that I've personally been around you.
Hey, a little behind the scenes thing, man. I knew his dad, man, and I used to hear stories about his dad from my parents, about him playing ball and all that. And he already told you my mom babysitted his mom and all of that. And so when I got a chance, man, getting to know a young fella and everything, but a little behind the scenes, man, my mom passed recently. You know what I'm saying? This dude shows up at the house. pull the bottle out, we sit down, we talk. You know what I'm saying? And I say this on air right here. He don't have no idea what that did for me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because being an old head, I'm always used to trying to spew a little knowledge, helping somebody here. But to see, man, one of the dudes that I done spent some time with come back and say, man, this is what it's like. I know I've been there. My parents, man, that did the world for me. You know, that's a little behind the scenes on the type of dude he is. So I don't even know if I told him thank you, but I'm telling him now. So
Listen, that was the least I could do. You know what I'm saying? For everything you've done for me. But we 30 minutes into this haven't talked basketball, and I love it.
Yeah.
And one of the things I want to touch on, Mario, you said is that sometimes I catch a little bit of flack and heat from people that don't understand the athletic and basketball brotherhood of why I do some of the connections and things. From the perception outside, these people may not be worthy of doing that.
Right.
But when you get in lines with people and you're with them for years and you're competing, you get to know somebody's true character. I mean, everybody make mistakes,
And they
bro.
level
We all do.
vulnerability.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
level-
Like, we're human. That's going
Right.
to happen. But I know if push came to shove and I had to make a phone call to get some stuff done, I know who I can call, when I can call them, and who's going to show up. So, I think we owe that to each other.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never going to put any of my brothers in a situation that's going to, A, make them uncomfortable, you know, or B, jeopardize their livelihood, and I just expect the same things from them. So, you know, we got to help each other out.
Well, for me, man, and I didn't want to touch on it till later, but I'm gonna touch on it now because I think it's the perfect segue forward. But when you say that, and I hear that, because it's not something I've heard. You know what I mean? Coming from where I come from, and I had a setback 11 years ago. You know, I got incarcerated, did a federal stint, and one of the few people that stepped up and did anything for me or my family was Anddrikk Frazier. And me and Anddrikk relationship was, you know, we'll see each other here and there. There was always love and respect for one another, you know, being fellow hoopers and all that. But some of the cats I ran with in the hood or done certain things or did what it was nobody that did what he did. And he felt like he spoke the same language and understood that at the time where you're like, you know what, look here, pass around a little jolly ball for Mario. We don't know a situation. Let's do this. Let's do that. He do have 3 kids. He got newborn kids, you know, whatever the case may be. And when he did that for me, man, it's always to be a touching story and it always be an immense amount of respect for this man, love and admiration for anything, and I'll do anything for him or his kids. And not just because of that, but just knowing the true character, the man, his heart, who he is, you know what I'm saying, all that, because that goes a long ways for me personally.
See, bro, I'm sure he did that because he saw them same things in you.
Yeah,
See
but
what I'm
he
saying?
talk about the brotherhood and us owing one another to be able to do it and the things that we do. I have similarities in regards to that process right now in regards that I'm doing for whoever kids, whether it's Denali or whoever, but it's like, guess what? My heart is going to be what it is. You know what I mean? Now, if you show me your hand and you decide to go south in regards to that piece of it, but this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Listen, we all know who we can pass the ball to in the fourth quarter with the game on the fucking
Yes,
line.
sir. I like
Facts.
that.
I mean,
like
real
that is no secret.
That's a
It
fact.
is no different when you get out here in these streets.
Facts.
Jones, what's the movie with Ben Affleck? The bank rob? No, they robbing banks. I might be drunk.
They had the mask on in the 2-seaters.
Yes,
The town.
The town.
the town.
The town.
When Ben Affleck go to his homeboy, he say, "Look, you got to go hurt some people. I don't want no talk, no back talk. I don't need no question." What his homeboy said? Who car we taking? That's all he said.
Yeah.
Like literally, we going to kill some people. Who car we taking? That's everybody up here on this panel.
Now, let me preface this, people out there. Like,
Me and Drake have
this
never
is
shot.
This is cinematic. This is
Yeah,
all
it's
We
a
ain't gonna
cinematic
rob
example.
nobody.
Yes.
Yeah, we ain't running no buildings.
No,
Everybody
we-
straight up here. You know what I'm saying?
Lord, I know if
Nobody
I
do
call-
being that desperate.
Right.
You know what I mean? We might need a couple donations. Though. What's 8?
I like how you slid that.
You guys see that? Yeah.
love that.
No, we ain't robbing no banks. We
No,
ain't
but
doing
I
none of
know
that.
I got 3 dudes up here, and then maybe another possible 3 who are not up here with us that I could call and be like, "I
playing
need you to
spades.
saddle up."
Yeah, you
You know
playing
what I'm
spades.
saying?
Spades.
Yeah,
You got 3 in a possible.
3 in a possible.
Possible, yeah.
Three in a possible, man. But you know that basketball communion, man, and that basketball fraternity, man, runs deep. It really does. And I think more of and being it is predominantly just us doing it. More of us need to be able to step up. Have those vulnerable conversations, see what it is, and not about just tangible things, man. Mentally, what you're going through. You know what I mean? Where can I assist, in regards to that? We all go through our little things. We all handling our own business. But when it come down to coming together, we can make it happen together and help one another, whatever that looks like. So we definitely got to continue to pay it forward, do what we do for one another, and hopefully others catch on. You know what I mean? As we're doing it.
Yeah.
As we're doing it.
Bro, you heard my rant last week, man. My problem with the NBA and all them millionaires and up there, and they tweeting and sniping each other and all that. Bro, we got work to do. We making all this money. We need to do so. We got work to do.
I have a question, Mr. Hillsborough County.
Uh-oh.
Is the class in 1994 the greatest class ever?
Oh, that's your question. I didn't have that question.
Oh, I thought that's what you was going. Oh, well, you ain't a part of the class in 94.
I was 96.
Oh,
So I get it.
man.
But he got. I guess that's a real question.
Oh.
I mean,
I was going. How do you feel about Hillsborough County basketball present day?
Now,
if you feel any
Third
type
largest
of
county in the state of Florida.
oh, man.
Like-
I'm going to just listen.
and I don't want to hear that about 1 or 2 4 stars that like they can't carry the torch.
So
What do you feel
let
about
me
the
just say
27
this.
schools
Me and Jones,
in Hillsborough County?
Me and Jones go. I was in the baseball world for 6 years prior to that, so I don't know. So I'm gonna just listen.
But look, I was in the
He was-
basketball world. I was
he was
coaching.
telling me-
I tried to tell him how bad it was, and I had a travel program. I seen it and I'm like,
I was like, no, Red ain't that bad.
I'm like, listen to me. But go ahead. I need to hear from the basketball savant.
Oh, man.
Did you add and he do some announcing for the state tournament?
Man, the dude did
Announcing for the state tournament.
The dude did some of the best coaching I ever seen. Now, I don't know if he had a loaded roster, but I was impressed.
Yeah, we were real loaded. My best 2 players, one's a doctor, the other one's a damn dentist right now. That's
Whoa,
how
whoa,
loaded
whoa.
we are. And
What
they're
up?
great.
And I was
Whoa.
Yes.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when you had Mike Williams,
Oh,
Rashard,
that team
Tyler.
was a little loaded, though. That was a little
Yeah,
different.
That team was loaded.
That's a little different.
But us at Hillsborough, I mean, they
I
didn't
ain't talking about that.
Yeah, they didn't give us the cards that we needed.
No. Wow. Let's talk about the state of basketball, like in general.
In general.
Then we can kind of get down
You
to
don't-
the
you
whole
don't- you don't
county
wanna go
level.
down to the county
No,
first
we'll get
of all?
there. No,
Okay.
we'll work.
I got way down.
We'll work
down.
it backwards.
Okay.
You just look back, and this is an old person talking. Not old as the guy to my left. But it's an old person talking, right? You think about like when we played in AAU travel basketball, like what that meant, where you had to be, the teams that were around to play for before it became like a cash and economic
money
development
grab?
thing.
You
A cash and economic
money grab?
development thing, whatever you want to call it.
All right.
Hey, it's only a money grab if you allow them to grab it.
That's
all right. So once it became that piece, now you have everybody that wants to be involved in this process. Everybody trains, everybody has travel teams, everybody wants to be a coach, which now entitles everybody to think they should play whenever they get to that next level, whether that's their junior high school team or their high school team. They think they should play because they're already playing on all these teams. I think I have seen the skill level from a pure, like being able to put the basketball in the hole, handle the basketball, pass the basketball, like elevate tremendously over the course of the last 30 years.
balance, athleticism,
Hands
all
down.
that. Yeah,
Hands down.
I 100% agree.
What has gone tremendously down is the ability to be coached, ability to be physically and mentally tough, basketball IQ, all the things that truly make good players great and average players good. And so now you move that down to the Hillsborough County level, and we haven't done a good enough job, and that's we collectively as a basketball community. Y'all
that.
can
I like
get
that.
pissed off if you want to. We
I like that.
at putting kids in the right situations with the right people. We've allowed people to come in and set up shop and have these academies and do certain things and teach and gravitate towards stuff, and that has set us back tremendously. I look at Orlando and what they have going on over there. I look at what goes on in Broward County, and it's not just us. I mean, there was a time when like Duval was on the schedule and you were nervous.
Yeah.
Jacksonville
When you played a
Doctors.
team from Jacksonville or Duval, you were nervous. Not
It
so
ain't
much
like that
right
no
now.
more?
This done dropped off.
No.
No, I would welcome that any day of the week.
I didn't know that.
I mean, and I mean, it's just so it's a bunch of things that have taken place, but I think that if Hillsborough County, and I don't want to get into the whole public-private thing either, just if Hillsborough County collectively,
I will.
okay,
I will.
if Hillsborough County collectively is going to get better, we, as in our basketball community, the guys that really care about the kids in the community, have to get more involved. And we got to have parents that feed up through this. And it can't just be about the money grab and what goes on in the summer and travel basketball. Nothing really pisses me off more, again, I know this is going to make some people mad, than me seeing, I haven't been on social media, by the way, since January 1st, and it has changed my life. Like, I've got so much of my life back. So I won't hear all the hate probably
Yes,
unless y'all
sir.
text it to me. But
Well, I'm not on there like that.
I ain't on social media.
one thing that frustrates me
that?
more
Right.
is seeing a player who spends maybe 20% of his time from a basketball standpoint with the team or a coach and them laying claim to him. Like, this is my kid and he's going to this place. This is my kid and he's going to this place. Like, you got this kid for like 2 or 3 months. Y'all ain't really practicing and working on shit. You just taking them to camps and y'all going to play games. And like, that's not the way this works. Like, the person that's a fundamental part of their life, honestly, is their high school coach who is doing everything with them to making sure their grades are together. You know what I'm saying? Making sure they have character, have the off-season workouts. And I think that's where the disconnect's taking place, because the teams that are very good across the state, those are year-round programs. Terrence McGriff's one of my homeboys from Bartow. We sat down 5 years ago. My man's going back-to-back, right? Mm-hmm. 5 years ago, we were at the state tournament. They got upset, and like the district or the region is like, Drick, what I need to do to get back? I said, McGriff, you got to use what's to your advantage, bro. You in a small town. Like, all these kids feed through you. You need to start these programs in 8th grade, working with them year-round, and just have a feeder system. My man's going back-to-back 2 years in a row. So it can be done, but like, you have to be able to have a little bit of control of your product and your program.
So I think the biggest issue is Tampa is not the same city it was in 1994. So how many schools have they added since we graduated?
I think probably 10. It's 27
more
now.
than that.
And that's just public schools.
Yeah, that's 20. Yeah, public schools.
You ain't even going to the
public
private
schools,
side. Yeah, I mean,
So I don't know how you could. Like,
but when you look
I
at
don't know.
now,
Broward, Dade, and Orlando Orange have more schools than we do, and they lay it to us
promise
every
you.
year.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
No.
They lay it to us every
we
year.
I think we fourth in the state now as far as size.
Listen.
But hearing what I just heard, and also one being a part of coaching for a certain number of years over the latter part of my life, also having a travel program, trying to have some sense of control over it, the level of loyalty, amongst parents, kids, the commitment is going down. It's not even there. And then on the actual coaching standpoint, or coaching side, you now have more history teachers with no basketball background that are coaching kids, which this has destroyed it. There's no more amateur sides where kids can participate in leagues and do certain things. We can't have as much of a high level of football player come from this city.
Baseball.
And baseball.
And volleyball.
Like athletic, and
softball.
you're not playing basketball? Like, how can that even happen? So as we sit here and we look at it, I'm like, being from the county and seeing we've seen from 1990 to 2000. When you look at that stretch, that 10-year stretch from 90 to 2000, here in this county.
Take it 02.
We'll take it to 02.
Probably realistically 88. Well, 88 to 2000.
Well, I was just using a
All right,
10-year
I'm with
span, but we can go 88 to 2002. You know what I'm saying? And look at the production.
Yeah.
From a collegiate standpoint, from a professional standpoint, just look at what was being done, but look at the difference. Now, he's dead right. There have been a couple guys that ain't even from here that come set up shop and as a better selling pitch than anybody else from here that's able to do it. And then the traditional programs that's been doing it for a while, nobody don't want to play with them because the coach too old school, or
Boom.
they don't want to do it. It's so many different
Them
dynamics.
snake oil salesmen come in.
Oh man,
Let me tell you, all you gotta do is mention D1,
that's it.
and everybody go berserk.
But it's crazy. Like I've been fortunate to have a couple kids that stuck with it. One is now a producer. He played college basketball, but he wasn't. I had a group of kids that came in the 8th grade. Ryan, Michael, Jaren, and it was those 3 guys. I'm sorry, and they stayed the course. People was trying to lure them off from program. They stayed the course. They fell in love with the process, the system. Well, guess what? Every last one of them playing college basketball right now. You know what I mean? One of them got a possibility of being a pro.
So let me guess, those dudes were coachable and they listened.
They listen. You know what I'm saying? And they come from, some different backgrounds or whatever the case may be. But when it comes to anybody that's seen what we've seen, we can prepare you. We can prepare you.
Yeah.
Are you going to accept how we prepare you?
See,
Or are you going to go get them shoes from somewhere else and you ain't going to practice?
That's a thing?
Oh, that's a thing.
So there's one more
Things.
thing I want to kind of
Things.
Touch on.
throw out there.
Throw it
right?
out.
Yeah. So the other piece is like, we were competitive. Like, so here's my thing, and I want to dispel some myths like right away, right? It's just some myths. So like, I go to Bayshore Christian because my dad and Derek's dad were super tight. Derek's dad was assistant coach on the team at Middleton when my dad was in school. My dad coached with him at Tech. So the goal was for me and Derek were both supposed to go to Tampa Bay Tech. Coach Smith ends up
Tampa Bay Votech?
Tampa Bay Votech at the time. Coach Smith, Jimmy Smith, ended up getting an administrative job at Burns my 9th grade year where I'm at Burns. So he comes over there. So now, like, the plan is ruined.
Yes, it's done.
Like, the plan is done,
Yeah.
right? And so my dad's like, I really didn't want you to go to Tech in the first place. You know, it is Tampa Bay Votech, like, and you're not a vocational guy.
Right. Nope.
So now we got to find a place for y'all to go because we want y'all to play together. So that's how we ended up playing together at Bayshore, all right? I go to Tampa.
Best guard
Yes.
tandem.
So-
Best guard tandem ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Hey, hold on, hold on.
I definitely want to hear the comments because, boy, you just did it.
Best guard tandem in
Ever.
Hillsborough County history.
Now listen,
Coach
hold on.
just said it.
Hold on.
What we talking
If
about
you ain't-
4,000 points? Almost.
Hold on. If you ain't got a few years in the bucket, don't come telling me what you seen because I done seen more of them than whoever gonna comment.
Coach, listen,
That-
it's
that-
hard for me to disagree.
Hey, wait a
with
minute.
that.
It was disputed.
said
It was
if I-
disputed that we were even the best guard tandem to ever play at Bayshore, but that's a whole nother
I
conversation.
said that 5 years ago, and somebody thought I was crazy.
Let's keep it going,
That's a
man.
long story.
Let's
Keep
keep
going.
it
That's a
going.
long story.
So
I'll tell you off camera.
I leave Bayshore because I run out of classes to take. All right, and I don't want to go to HCC for half a day. And Coach Phelan had been in my life since I was a 13, 14-year-old. And by the way, this guy's over there as well. All right, so I go to Tampa Prep to get a better education. I didn't go run and play with Carl because I thought that was going to make a super team or nothing like that. That's not what I
We had
did.
super team talks in the summer.
Okay, so let's talk about.
Hey, but some of the people wasn't super team worthy at that time. They grew into super team.
Was it a
That's
super
real.
team?
No. And let me just piggyback on what Drick said. Our AAU team, we can get to everybody's house in 15 minutes. Drick didn't live in Pensacola.
Nope.
Carl didn't live in Gainesville. I didn't live in Miami. We had an organic AAU team.
Okay.
I try out for Team Florida when I was 15 years old, and I thought I did okay. You know, I don't think I've ever given myself credit, but I didn't make the team. All right, it's whatever. So you know what that meant every summer when I went to play?
They
Work.
finna get it.
Oh, I got to get to you. I got to find y'all. We gonna get to y'all in the finals.
Didn't I just tell you?
And when
me and
we
Drick
get there,
me and Drick hit Team
It's
Florida
gonna
for a
happen.
54 combined.
And you had 4.
Had 4.
He had 50.
Might have had 5.
he had 5. I had 49. He had 5. I had 49. I had 49 and played. Hey, I had 49 and played every single second
minute,
of that
dog.
game in a gym with no AC in May.
O'Galley High
boy.
School over in Cocoa Beach.
Yes.
That's where the Nationals was at.
We bust them up for
Ben Coco.
54.
Let me tell you something.
So
Because
it-
how this dude played right here, I got to say it. I seen plenty come in, they 5'9", 5'10", whatever. I said, if you ain't getting up under the ball like what I seen him do, if you ain't controlling the pace like I seen him do,
Eddie Shannon, you too can be a
if you
soul
ain't
train
setting the
dancer.
if you ain't setting the
Oh, yeah.
table and getting buckets,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you about how good you is.
Go
Because
ahead,
I
go
got
ahead,
that's
go
my
ahead.
marker.
Well, my thing was, so in the summertime, like, we going to try to give it to these dudes and we going to, you know, so,
Yeah.
hey, we come up short. That's cool. It got to the point to where they would call me in the summertime when it was time to go to Nash, like, hey, will you come and play with us?
No.
Can you please
No,
come
no,
and play with us?
never.
I did.
He went at the
I
end.
went at the
He went at
end.
the
I went
end.
my
He went
senior year
at
at the end. We ended up winning the
They
national
won it.
championship.
Yeah.
It was the first national championship for the state of Florida. I went and played with them. But you don't have that drive anymore, man. Like, me and D. Smith grew up together. We were friends, and like, we're all friends. But you know what? Like,
We went at each other.
I want to bust his ass.
That's
next time I
real.
did the
That's
other
real.
person.
We done threw the ball
You know
at each
what?
other,
Yeah,
about
yeah.
to fight in the gym.
And we'll go to McDonald's afterwards. You know, or
Drick
or
telling
Dry Rolls, have a
Drick
good
telling
time.
the PG
a great
version.
point.
Drick
It's a
telling the
great
PG
point.
Drick telling the PG version. We going to get drunk afterwards.
First of all, like, so, okay, I didn't drink until like after I signed.
Okay.
Like after I signed it, go back and think about it. I did not drink my first drink until after I signed. Go ahead and do the
We'll
do the
talk off
math.
camera. We'll talk off camera.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Competitive hunger, competitive nature.
Let's
So
get
many
back to this
teams.
class of '94 with all these D1 signees.
Well, listen, with our class of '94, we know what the deal is.
I mean, me and Drick were just talking, and then are we counting the D1 JUCO guys too?
Of course you are.
So John Johnson went D1 JUCO. Damon Smith went D1 JUCO.
Yeah, all
Joe
them-
Fallon went D1 JUCO. Drick went to Vandy. Carl went to Western Kentucky. Where did Leo go?
Our team was so good that we finished second in the state A. Our county, like our county's team was so good,
Yeah.
we finished second in the state tournament that year.
Shoot.
And that's against like these super teams and
I was gonna
everything
say
else.
they
Just
collecting
second.
players from everywhere.
Yeah,
And-
like
and-
we lost to Team Florida in overtime
Without
Joe Fallon and Damon Smith.
And Damon Smith. We lost by 4. 108
They
to
had
112.
prom on that day.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, Joe and Damon, my legs are still mad at y'all for going to prom.
Listen, man.
Joe, hey, Joe 5, cuz I'll come see you and let you know about it. Tighten up.
Yeah, so probably 5 D1 guys and then 3 Division I JUCO guys.
That was a
In one
special
class.
group, man.
Class of
And-
94.
And I mean, I'm being a little biased. It was a special group. Only other groups that I would compare with that, Desmond's class was probably pretty special.
98.
98 class was pretty special, and I mean, you can't. 02 wasn't
With
bad
Mike
either.
and-
Oh,
Mike
two with the
and-
Grand Boys.
No,
No,
Grand Boys
they
were
2000.
2000.
2000.
02 was Tyler Azzarelli, Torrance Kinsey, Alio, Mike Williams, Tyrus Wade.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing? I'm missing like 2 or 3 other people. I'm
Just a
sorry.
couple more guys.
But they were
T-Wade.
solid too. And all them guys that I just named are Division I and A sport guys. Mike
Yeah.
Williams could have played D1 basketball. So
Yeah,
those are
that's
all
true.
D1 guys.
That's true.
So that was a pretty special class too.
So what happened to the county? Rhetorical question between us. What happened to the county from then to now?
We just touched on it, Cole.
And then this ain't even a quote unquote basketball power, Hillsborough County.
No.
But was putting out that type of product.
Yeah.
You know, like that's.
I think part of that too is, I mean, some of the coaching. I mean, we got some great coaches in the area. I mean, I'm not going to downplay that, but
Yeah.
some of these areas, and you just look at the lineage of coaches at the time, and Herman Valdez, Joe Finland, like all the old school coaches that were there. There's a gap, right? Because we go play and do our thing, and it takes a while before E. Hayes, Ronaldo Garcia,
Yeah.
Darius
Before they
before they
filter
get
back.
engaged. But there's a gap in between
a
there.
big gap.
And I mean, we can look around and think about who you played for. And I mean, not Nene Knox. I love Mark Auburn to death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Great guy. But how many of those guys are battle tested that you played for?
Not a lot.
I mean, so, and again, it's no knock, but it's like you got to do the best you can do with what you have. And so I think we got to do a better job putting ourselves in position to where Hillsborough County and Lannis have now kind of gotten away from you got to work at the school and you got to be a school teacher,
Yeah.
in order
Yes.
to
Right.
coach.
That has
But
hurt.
we kind of started
That
to
has
change
hurt.
with that.
Yeah.
Though. When we
Yeah.
coached at Hillsborough,
Yeah.
we changed that narrative because
That
it was
has
like
hurt.
you have to no.
But you can't tell me like I got to go take a test to get certified as a teacher and I got a damn engineering degree.
Like, that's
Like
crazy.
what
Nah,
do you
we
think,
ain't gonna do
coach?
that.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
As
not doing
coach,
that.
y'all
No
tripping.
disrespect to no coaches.
Not
You know what I'm saying?
Not me.
Not for $1,100 a year.
Relax. That's stipend.
For-
We're
for
talking about
three-
put
hey,
right
for
back
3 hour
into the
practice a
program.
day.
Excuse me, wait. Not for negative $3,500 a year.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
did you add the hours up? The
Right.
real
Well,
Well,
hours?
no.
none of that, but the money you got to spend to kind of do things to get
Yeah.
somewhere.
Take it, especially if you're in a public arena, it becomes
See.
now it's a babysitting job too because you got to take
Now,
jokers back and forth to practice.
They go from all this to now they figure they just gonna walk over and just play for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I get to the point where
Coach, let me tell you
you
something,
get there,
man.
they find out they can't play for me.
Coach, let me tell you
Then it's
something.
like I don't know what I'm doing, where
me
we
tell-
going, and I'm like,
Tell him something, Reed.
you
Coach,
don't
I'm
know
gonna
how to
tell you
play.
something, boy.
Tell him something, Reed.
You probably got 1 or 2 players from Tampa a year that possibly be in your roster.
Yeah.
Possibly,
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2,
Yeah.
possibly.
But
every
then the
single
problem
year.
is when I pick up the 1 or 2,
Oh yeah, well they don't
they
start.
fail out.
Yeah, we ain't
Jones
gonna-
just had a
we
squad
ain't gonna-
the year before last with 4 Tampa guys on it.
And you heard somebody talking about what they say.
Oh yeah, don't go over there, Jones. He's not gonna pick up any guys from Tampa. I was like, he's got 4 guys from
Yeah,
Tampa.
Look, we
right
gotta-
there on the roster at that time.
Listen,
And get how many failed out?
2.
We got a
You gotta
segment.
go to class.
50% of them.
We got a segment, Anddrikk Frazier, that's called "I'll Never Forget." Right? It don't have to be sports related.
God.
It don't have to be. We done went a little over today. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hopefully we
man.
can keep people.
I was
You know
ready
what?
to
That
go
was
more
crazy.
over.
Hey, check this out. Like,
Really?
we didn't spend any time talking about what I accomplished as a basketball player, and,
No,
I,
man,
and I love that.
go
No,
ahead.
no.
We need to go there.
No, I love that because honestly, like, that's where stuff
Part
kind of
two.
gets. That's where stuff kind of gets lost in
Yeah.
translation.
I was
Because,
like,
I mean, it's
this
not
was
about
this
that.
was LeBron before LeBron. You know what I'm talking about?
like that.
That's the middle name.
So what is it called?
I'll never forget.
I'll never forget.
So it don't have to be
Never
sports
forget.
related.
I will never forget the time I had to call Coach Jones at 1:30 in the morning.
Might be a little later.
It was 1993. It was summer. Nope. Yes, it was summer of
summer.
1993.
That was mine, I'll never
It was in
forget.
June, so now you got to get a new one. It was the NBA Finals.
Oh,
We were playing in the Sunshine State games here at Tampa Catholic, right? As our team. Coach Finland was out of town visiting his parents, so Coach Jones is coaching us. We played a game on Friday, blast whoever we had to blast. So, like, what we gonna do tonight? Well, let's go stay at D. Wood house. All right, cool. We get to D. Wood house. D. Wood's parents aren't there. Davis Island. So, my mom out of town, my dad in Delaware, man. We got to run to the house, bro.
What's that?
Yeah. I order pizza. Like, we gonna sit and watch games. All right, cool. So, remember, like, we got a game tomorrow, so you already know where my mind's at,
Bro,
right?
we some of the best partiers / performers ever.
Hold up.
Hey, my story comes from
We gonna party and then perform.
So this is where my mind's at, right? So, all right, so we cool, and we have some females come over, hang out. We're watching the game or whatever, which is cool.
Some queens.
Listen, yeah, so we're watching the game, and so I'm like, all right, well, it's about time for us to start hitting the sack, man. I think I went upstairs to go grab some or whatever, and so I hear all this commotion downstairs. I'm like, what is going on?
Uh-oh.
I go downstairs. It is 100 people in this house.
Literally.
Like, in literally 20 minutes. I was like, what happened? D was, it was a party down the street. It got blown up. So they all came down here. It's kegs in the
this gets
backyard.
better.
They
This
doing
gets
handstands. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, we got a game tomorrow. So I'm upstairs. All of a sudden I hear, I'm on the second floor. I'm like, what is this on the window? I look outside. This dude standing outside doing this. I'm like, what's going on? He's
Police
like,
out here,
he
man.
like trying to sign language police, and I can't really see what he got going on. I go and open the door. I look downstairs. They got Dan Wood against the wall in handcuffs. At police.
And he ain't going peacefully.
They say, so son, where are your parents? Africa. This is white dude now. Africa. Son, if you don't tell me, Africa. All right, we taking you to jail.
We got a game in the morning.
So I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So it's me, Carl. I can't remember who else was upstairs. I'm like, man, the police downstairs. We gotta get out of here. Police come out there with flashlights, get us out. It's 1:30 in the morning. So I go call Jones. I'm like, man, I can't let this dude sit in jail all night. I call Jones. Go to a payphone, right? Ain't no cell phone. Go to a payphone.
At the 7-Eleven on Davis Boulevard.
I had to get my black book out my night bag. Scroll through to get his phone number.
You put your hand
Yes.
on the top to it because there was too
Yes.
much wax on there.
Yeah.
You had
And
like that.
so I call him.
Yeah.
And so
Wipe this part off.
So-
Right, exactly. People be talking, wipe this part off.
Dr. Jones answers the phone. I say, Dr. Jones, I'm sorry to call so late. Can I speak to Coach Jones, please? Say, Jones. Say, what? I said, they about to take Dan Wood to jail. He said, call me back after they take him, and hung up.
Wow.
Some cold ass shit too.
Wait, where Coach Jones from?
Call me if they take him.
Wow.
Next day, we show up to the game.
Smelling like beer.
Oh, man. Now, everybody ain't smelling like beer. We show up to the game the next day to play. And remember, Dan Wood's parents was out of town. So we playing the first quarter, whatever. Jones got Wood sitting on the bench. We had to hear a ride out from him, whatever, right? So we hooping. Jim gets dead south. Here come D. Wood dad walking in. He done called him private plane back.
He's a very big man too.
His nickname was Bill.
He's a very big man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did one of these, Reed.
That was my remember win, buddy. Hey, we won the tournament, though.
We wanted to, bro. We the best party and performing team ever.
I can't even call. We got to hit on that one.
Listen,
Bro, we were like the Beatles.
In my defense, I told him, hey, man, everybody going out of town. We got a game tomorrow. Don't come with that bullshit tonight.
He did say that.
Because if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you done.
Bro, we was like the Beatles, bro. We was like a rock group, bro.
You know all this weed shit? Like, I wasn't part of that. I was trying to win.
We were winning.
I party after Sunday.
Hey, man, look here. I never forget. We go to Tallahassee.
Oh, God.
We in a tournament.
I only got one.
By this time, they
them
rolling.
go.
He the man coming in. He finna be 2A player of the year.
What you talking about?
Carl, I don't finally convince Carl that weights ain't gonna destroy your game. A game that he ain't have at the time.
Uh-oh.
So now he done start dunking on people, going under the rim on the other side. Everything done changed. We finna go. We taking off. So we stand at the, I don't know, Marriott or whatever rooms Finland got us at. So I got to do a little bed check. I go around, I'm knocking on the door. I go to this dude door. I knock on the door. This dude come to the door like he got a smoking jacket on.
With an ascot.
You got a smoking jacket on.
And an ascot.
Hey, listen.
All the way up.
Now, if you don't know what a
Silk.
smoking jacket is, you need to look it up. I ain't say a robe.
Silk.
I know.
I
A
ain't
smoking
say robe.
jacket.
So, and then I'm gonna leave it at that. But this dude got a smoking jacket on. He answered the door, smoking. What's up? I said, all right, man, good night.
And that's where we go into that.
I never forget.
That's where we go into
That's
that.
what we gonna end it at.
That was 1993.
Yeah,
it was
it was
December of 1993. Just to
was a
clear the
little
air.
cold.
No, I got to clear the air.
Yeah, it was,
No. You don't get what I'm doing. I want to clear the air. Yeah.
Right now, he's
he was
setting
a
up for
youngin'.
maximum deniability.
Yeah.
That was
He was
1993.
Ain't no
young.
statute of limitation.
No, he was a youngin'. It was
young,
93.
yeah, man.
But
Hey.
I say, boy, this is a different cat here. He ain't answer with a robe. This cat answered with a smoking jacket.
With an ascot.
They was about to get that smoke the next day, coach. I had to get ready for it.
Hey, exactly.
We out.
Listen,
Wrap this
I
up.
will never
Wrap this
forget.
up.
Hey, thank you for listening. Anddrikk Frazier, great guest.
We gonna do a part 2 with Drew,
We're
by the
going to
way.
part 2 with this guy here because I got a story from 1993 when he caught a lob. I was on the backside of a line to see his feet. I didn't think he jumped that high at 5 foot nothing. Okay, 99 ain't good enough. When we keep it
100.
signing off.